Welcome to Project Osprey. This is an idea we've been working on for some time. The concept is to try and create a sort of hologram type of experience on a desktop. Obviously, it's not a real hologram, but it sort of gives that sort of slightly Pepper's Ghost type impression of hologram type experience. So what we do is we take a screen, in this case it's an iPad Pro screen, and we divide it into 4 parts. The content on these parts has to be reversed because what's going to happen is each of these sections is going to be mirrored. So if you can imagine the iPad Pro screen at the moment lying flat, we take 4 see-through reflective pieces of polymer mounted at 45 degrees inside a viewer, and then this creates a sort of a tiered reflection effect which gives the illusion of depth. Obviously, at this stage in the project, we were hoping to have these viewers 3D printed, and we have a specific polymer that we're going to be using, which is very see-through and very reflective. As you can see, we're still at the project mock-up stage, we're not quite as far along as we'd hoped to be at this stage, but you do still get the idea of what the technology might be able to achieve. So this is what it looks like in its pure form. This was made by one of our first years, Gabia. And this is what it actually looks like inside the viewer. Now, I mean, I wish I could actually kind of convey to you exactly how good it does look in person. You just can't capture it on the camera properly. But what we've been trying to do, this one's been made by one of our second years, Kurt, is using kind of quite sparse, quite minimal, punchy visuals, so like these atmosphere textures, the bright colours, the lights, that sort of thing. We have actually tried doing slightly more ambitious stuff like this helicopter and building experience, but what we've noticed obviously is when it gets a bit too complicated, it gets quite cluttered. So these sorts of experiences like this band mock-up, we seem to work best with the sort of lasers and that sort of thing, those sorts of effects, when it's quite minimal and quite sort of bright, punchy visuals. To try and convey what it looks like, I've produced this with a DSLR on a very shallow depth of field to try and illustrate the sort of the depth perception between the elements. Of course, that works visually, and it also works in terms of proximity. So as you get closer, you do get that sort of also sense of the sort of the scale of the experience. So yeah, it's something we're really interested in. I've made some tutorial videos on how to make content for it. So if you've got any ideas, please do follow the tutorials and send them through. I'd love to see what you've got.